Hi there, and welcome to another exciting edition of McSci-Fi TV. I'm Bill McCormick, McSci-Fi. I'm wearing my glasses today because my eyes are a little tired. I'm doing a lot of reading, a lot of writing, doing stuff for magazines, and just busy. Busy as a little elf at Christmas. Which brings us to today's story. It's called Helping the Elves. I wrote it. It originally appeared in an anthology called Slashing Through the Snow. It was a collection of horror stories related to Christmas, because nothing says Christmas like Santa with a knife. To me. You know, might be different in your own. Anyway, so here we are. I'm just going to jump right into this. Helping the Elves by me. This was his favorite time of the year. The holly was hung by the chimney, all over the place actually, with a care that bordered on obsessive. Seriously, they measured each strand so that it would aesthetically highlight the other strands. The sleigh bells were polished to a pristine gleam. His reflection, as he held one to the light, was bent and distorted, and it always made him happy. Each tree throughout the facility was decorated in accordance with the many rites and rituals the world had proclaimed to be proper for the holiday. There was even a Kajinar, resplendent with its steaming pile of shit. Nothing quite like a good holiday defecation to get you in the mood. Each tradition right, yet each wrong. The bunting was festooned around the room, and lists, on paper no less, were being pored over by diligent yet happy sycophants. The rules they followed were millennia old and never changed. A child was either naughty or nice. If there was any doubt, nice was the default option. At least for the last couple of centuries or so. Times change. Not that it bothered him. His job, his joy, was eternal. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen were playing hoof hockey with Donder, Cupid, Comet, and Blitzen. He had 5 snowflakes riding on Dasher's team. Fuck Rudolph. He'd never existed and never would. Nevertheless, he felt it was a good bet. Even down 6-3, Dasher was too resourceful, others would say too brutal, to lose. This was the North Pole. Survival and brutal were interchangeable terms. And he, like Dasher, had survived. Druids, Christians, Jews for Jesus, neo-pagans, what the fuck were they anyway? All came and went before him. Each, in their own way, honored Christmas. Each, in their own way, perverted it. Not perverted like midget porn in a nunnery, but perverted nonetheless. Speaking of which, and we were, even if it bothers you, there used to be a nunnery in Calais where the nuns used midget jesters for sexual gratification. Since they were Catholic, it was okay. All the Gnostics in the village were killed. Go figure. Joyeux Noël, everyone. None of that mattered to him, of course. Naughty or nice, that's all he cared about. Those rules transcended transient things like religion. The elves had, as was their wont, laden the snack table with sweets and milks, but they weren't evil. Far from. They knew he would be there, and had added sweetbreads and jerkies, too. The goat heart with garlic and cilantro was to die for. As if he could do something as mundane as that. He made sure to thank the elves. They needed recognition as much as any mortal beings before he filled his plate and went to check on his supplies. Many historians attributed Santa Claus to the story of a Turkish priest, St. Nicholas. And, in fact, that is where his name came from. He'd never had a name before that. Santa had been his helper then. Nameless, formless, guileless. He was as good-hearted then as he is now. That had never changed. It was the world which had evolved. Once, bare millennia ago, he was the talk of every village and town. He would visit on the winter solstice. Bad children were noted, found, and disposed of. His sack, like Santa's, could hold infinite amounts of matter. He would snag the little bastards from their beds, wake them so they knew fear, and then toss them in his sack. The really bad ones he ate. He found the nastier they were, the tastier they were. The evil children of royalty were the best of all. Cinnamon and sugary, full of darkly spoken lies, they were a delicacy he savored. Each succulent morsel was lingered over until fully ingested. From touching his tongue, sliding through his throat, dropping into his gullet, not a sensation was ignored. Once, and the mere memory made him quiver and smile, like a virgin spreading her legs for the first time, he'd absconded with triplet daughters of an evil queen. They were delightfully deviant. They used to force servants to do unspeakable things to each other or face ritual beheading. They were so spiritually ruined, their existence was a shining beacon to him. It cut through a miasma of charity and good cheer to guide him in. As soon as he had them, he didn't kill them, or eat them while killing them, or torture them into kindness, or anything else normally part of his routine. Instead, he made them his mortal assistants. Despite the myths, he couldn't grant them anything but death, and he denied them that for a while. Each year he would return from his world tour to give them the vilest of the vile and let them have their way with them. Oh, glorious gods, the blissfully twisted torture those young ladies could devise. They made Cardinal Richelieu look like a rank amateur. Things could be heated. Tongs, pricks, straps, genitals were used in a dizzying array of depravity until they hit 30. Then, porculent in their debauchery, he had the elves give them individual rooms. They, thrilled at the freedom, were ecstatic. Then, with the elves keeping the others occupied, he ate them, one by one, keeping each alive as long as he could until they were gone. Oh, the taste lingered still. He longed for their successors, but such evil was sadly rare. And of course, there were new rules. Children from damaged homes or horror-filled lives were off limits. He'd agreed to the rules. He was a demon, not a monster. Children needed a chance to do good. He needed the ones who wanted to do evil. If they had no choice in the matter, then they were really of no value to him. They were same as light beer or soy milk. Ugh, pathetic imitations. Still, he knew there would be plenty of souls for him. Not every girl and boy aspired to sainthood. No, not everyone wanted to hold sock drives for the homeless. No, there were those who wanted to rule over all, to lord over all that they deemed useless, to rend asunder what good hath wrought in their name of their own self-aggrandizement. Sometimes a kid who was merely bad would end up on the list. Those he would toss back like fish under the size limit. He had no use for snacks. He needed meals. The elves knew that and did their best to keep him sated. He nibbled on some pigeon kidneys and a rind of Limburger cheese while he considered his lot in the universe. Every year, thanks to him, there was a little less evil in the world. He could hear the screams of its pending demise as it lashed out against the unknown and light. What some called terrorism, he called death throes. Thus, each year, the scales of life tilted in increments too small to measure, but nevertheless there, more and more towards justice. Each year Santa would thank him for all his good work, and each year he would smile the smile of the pure, for he was pure in his own way. Few are the beings who enjoyed their work as much as he. Yep, it's the story of Krampus, obviously. And it's in Slashing Through the Snow, which you can find on Amazon and all sorts of places. You can get it on my website, BillMcSci-Fi.com. Really, I think that's all we're going to do today. Just a cool little story, had some fun, and it's good to see everyone again. Hi, hope you're having a good time. Stay safe out there. Bye.